Welcome back, everybody. So we're really like lively on this Monday morning.
It's a Monday.
That's a Monday.
You guys all said you were tired, and now you guys.
I'm slack-happy, maybe sleep deprived.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh, I forgot to turn around the computer. All right, now we can all hear me, I think. Okay. So again, what we're going to be looking at here today is how do we solve equations with these fractions now. Now here's the deal. I'm going to teach you a unique method of solving these equations. One that clears all fractions. Okay? And it's going to be helpful. It's going to be extremely helpful when we start solving rational functions. Okay? So let's go with something like this. Go ahead and write that down. Now the method is at the top. Solve each equation by using the LCD and eliminating the fractions. Again, no calculators. Because this is not about the numbers. This is about the process. Okay, so we got 1/3 is equal to 5, 6x minus 1/2. Now, this unique method of solving these is going to eliminate all fractions. But how we eliminate all fractions is that we multiply both sides, both left side and right side, by the LCD. Least common denominator, right? Yeah, LCD, the common denominator. So, what is the common denominator of all fractions of this one? 6. 10, 20, 30, 40. 6, right? The least common multiple of all of these is 6. Okay, the least common multiple is 6. So we are going to multiply all parts by a factor of 6. Here's why that's useful. Because when we multiply, we're really going to multiply by like 6 over 1. Now, why can I do this? Why can I do that? I'm just multiplying it by 6. I'm just changing the context of the problem. No, I'm not really changing it because if whatever I do to the left side, I just have to do that same thing to the right side of the equation. Then it's still equivalent. So when I multiply by 6, watch what happens. I multiply the 1/3, I get 6/3. I multiply the 5, I get 36. And then I multiply the 1, I get 6/2. Why is that useful? Because this just becomes 2 is equal to 5x minus 3. Now that is a nice equation. Isn't that nice?
That's kind of cool.
So now we add the 3 and then divide by 5. X is 1. So really 1/3 is equal to 5, 6 minus 1/2. Now, I am even going to ask you to jump to this. Okay? I am multiplying fractions here, aren't I? So I should be able to cross-simplify when I multiply fractions. What do I mean by that? Well, I would be taking 6 first times 1/3. Don't they share a common factor of 3? 2 over 1, which would have gotten me just 2. Cancel out common factors before you multiply in. What's my common factor here? Well, the entire thing, right? So that will cancel out, leaving just a 5. What's my common factor here? A 2. So cancel it out, leaving a 3 when I multiply in. And that will reduce the fractions as you multiply them in. That makes it even sweeter, making it nicer. Let's try that again. 8/3 r minus 9/4 is equal to negative 5/12. Think about doing this without a calculator, without doing this method. Adding the 9/4 to 5/12, getting common denominators with that, and then dividing by 8/3, which is multiplying by 3/8, and reducing all of those fractions. No, thank you. So what am I going to multiply by? 12, right? I'll put it on the right side. 12 firsts. Now, be careful here. I write it up to the top like that. Please don't take it as like I'm taking that to the power or anything like that. All right, now I multiply in. What's my common factor with 12 and 3? Right, 3, right? So what's left over? After I divide that, what I'm multiplying in by 3, what's left over? 4. So I'm really multiplying in a 4 here. What's 4 times 8? 32. 32R. Could I multiply 8 times 12? Sure. 96. Divide by 3, you get 32. Okay, what about 4? I divide through by 4 before I multiply in here. And I've got 3 left over, right? The common factor of 4 gets canceled out. I'm left with a 3, so minus 27. Yeah, my phone alert is what it's like to get an email on yeah, that'll be the next generation. I bet the next generation of like TI calculators have Wi-Fi built in.
You just search everything up online.
I bet they do.
Yeah.
Just saying.
That'd be pretty cool.
And then I do this one.
Just use that one. And I'll link it to that one.
Yeah. And you'll be able to like upload things.
Yeah.
Save graphs.
That'd be pretty cool.
The future. And then lastly here we can factor out our entire 12. So leaving it just a -5. Which makes that a lot easier equation to solve, in my opinion. We add the 27 over to the other side, we get 32 is equal, 32R is equal to 22, right? And we divide over, we get R is 22 32nds, but that will reduce into, well, remember that's 2 times 11 and 2 times 2. Right, or we could just say 11/16.
Yeah, that's what I was going for. That hurts my soul to look at.
Oh.
I went to that there.
And that is way.
What's wrong? How'd we do? We good?
Yeah.
Okay, let's do another one. And the fractions wouldn't cancel out.
Smaller number. Can you simplify them and then get them to a point where it's bless you. You're welcome.
Yes. Yeah. Are you talking about like a common denominator or the least common denominator?
Like, if I use like one,
I guess
It would still work, just the numbers would be a little bit bigger when you want to solve. You'd have to reduce a little bit more in the end.
I just didn't know if that was like messing up.
Okay. No, as long as you multiply same thing left and right, it should still be equivalent.
No.
Okay, what's my GCF? Or sorry, LCD. Well, why is it 12? What's the denominator underneath 1? 1. So that has, that's everything, right? I don't need to worry about 1 over 1. So could I use 24? I could. That would be okay. But you're going to have to reduce a little bit more in the end if you use 24. Use 12. Heck, use whatever. So I'm going to multiply in by 12 over 1. So that means I get a factor of 3 that I'm multiplying in here, right? I divide out the 4 to begin with, I get 3 left over. So it's a -3n plus 12 is equal to, now I factor out the 6 right away, I'm left with 2. So a -10. I subtract the 22 over to the other side, I get -3n, or sorry, subtract the 12 to get -22. And then I divide by -3 to get 22/3. See, if you'd multiplied through by 24, you'd have to reduce, there would be a reducible fraction right there. Questions about that? One more.
Like
I get to watch Rocky Horror.
When?
Who first class today?
What?
Is that Rocky Fights the Russian?
Yeah, it is.
You know what I get to do? Stormtroopers today. Take an A+ test.
Ayo.
Not when I was a
So Soviet Russia.
I will praise human form of communism. I will crush it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but guess what? You got it in the second. The house in the first one, I'm gonna lie.
It's a big
20, right?
Yeah.
You used 80? Oh.
Use 80.
Flex. I used 3 printers.
Using quadratic formula.
So multiply through and divide out the 4 first, I get 5, negative 35p. Well, divide out the 5 first, I get 4, so plus 8. Divide out the 2 to get a 10, so 70. Subtract 8. Ooh, this is weird, isn't it? Negative 35p is equal to 62. So p is equal to 62, negative 62 35ths. Does that have any common factors? Because 62 is going to be 2 times 31. And 31 is prime. And then 35 is going to be 7 times 5. So, no, that's it.
This is quite possibly the most disgusting.
Actually, that's one of the gross.
Negative 62 35ths.
Yeah.
I hate that more than my reflection.
There's so many gross.
All right. Sound good? Bueno?
Bueno.
Yep.
Muy bueno.
Oh, wrong thing.
Muy bien.
What do you say about a YouTube?
Todos.